Alright, well, welcome to another day in my life. This is Saturday, and I don't know if it's going to storm today or not, but what I'd like to do is look at that range wing and see that belt that came off, and see about adding a bit of space onto that cable, that clutch release cable for the other wing. It seems like it's a little bit too long, the cable, and it popped off its pulley. And I think that's one of the reasons they have such a deep groove pulley. Mine isn't so deep grooved. And this cable, I made it a little bit longer because I thought the last one was a bit too short. They're supposed to be 60 inches, so I made this one right at 60 inches. The other was a little over 59, but I think 60 inches is a bit too long with that pulley I'm using. So I'm hoping to find a solution on getting that cable addressed. So that's what I'm going to start doing, and if it doesn't storm, I'm hoping to get some chipping and shredding and chipping in. That is my goal. Margot's home this weekend, which is a cool thing, and man, I ate like a pig last night. We went to El Tapatio, and I left there like I had a bowling ball in my belly, which it seems like that's pretty common when we go to that place, which is why I don't go there too often, because I always overeat because their food is so damn good. But I had, since Margot was driving, I had 2 Corona Ritas, and man, out went the lights. I got home and sat on that sofa. I was like Corona readed all up. And didn't mean to do that. Yeah, man, it fired me up. Felt good. Got home on the sofa, bowling ball in my belly, and 2 Corona Ritas later, I was O-U-T for the count. Anyway. Well, hopefully I'll make some progress today. This was some of the remnants of cleaning out underneath the Woods RM deck yesterday, knocking off the grass buildup in it. Oh man, it feels nice and cool now. It's probably the front before the storm. Oh man, I was looking all over for those things last night. So this is what I'm talking about with regards to the cable. Now it's like it's stretched or something, because there's a whole bunch of extra cable, like this whole gap right there. That wasn't like that before. And then it doesn't look like it's pulling out of its end stops, so that's good. I'm wondering if I didn't have this wing all the way up when I was first putting this on. It's possible that bar, I didn't have the hydraulics all the way up. But what I mean is, there's some adjustability with how much. See, that's pretty damn loose. That's too loose. There's some adjustability here by tightening that up, but it's tightened all the way as it is. So I'm thinking if I undo these completely, which would have to take that off or work my hands back there, because this thing is on there pretty tightly. That first one, because I went through this last night. I think I can put some gap on here. Good. Let the cops got like that. You know what? Set my alarm off on my Shit. That cable's just gonna have to be shorter, and that really sucks. But you know what? I wonder if I can just cut, because I got room to back this back a long ways. I bet you I could just cut those end stops off of that cable, pull it back, put some new end stops on it, and adjust this back. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Okay, well, I have a plan for that, and then I've got to see why this belt popped off. I'm sure it's because it in there. So anyway, let me start on this stuff, and we'll go from there. All right, I got all the screws off. Let's see, bolts. Yep. Belt is off. Come on, baby. Hopefully that gave me enough room to work with now. There we go. It had jumped the pulley up there, so it was eating up space. All right, checking it out. So that's done. Not sure though why it jumped ship. If I can just get it tightened up a little bit by cutting off some of those end stops and putting a new end stop on, that's easy enough. All right, well, let me go get a couple of wrenches here. Yep, I'm feeling rain. This is the one that was tight as shit. This cable fitting that's not a size of anything. It's just, I was just trying to find something that fit on there, and an 8 fit on it. So see what I'm doing here, trying to back this nut's just really slow going, so I'm backing it off out of there. All right, so backed it out about yay far. I still have a good little bit I can go, but that will allow me to pull this guy off of here. All right, so now pull this. Yeah, see, I got that kink in it because it popped off. I gotta get my needle nose to pull that clip out of there, pin out of there. I'm gonna cut here and put a couple of new stop ends on this, and that should shorten this up a bit, so I have some adjustability to put some tautness on it so it doesn't jump that pulley again. Let me get my cutters and a couple end stops and crimps and all. Oop, and the rain. I'm gonna go put that other deck back together, and because I can do this indoors. I'm gonna put these, I got these real thick ass stainless washers. I noticed those other washers that I had on, those thin stainless, they just kind of cup, and it makes it hard getting a good bite on the little bolts holding that cover on that deck. So I'm gonna use these guys. These are badass. All right, let me go and get at it. All right, so crimpers, cutters, tape, end stops, wire to be adjusted. I won't say fixed, but adjusted, corrected. I'm gonna think, but man, this stuff, it's got some memory to it. This is where, as a result of it jumping the pulley, it's crazy. It would not be beyond me to put these end stops on and only to find out that I don't have my fitting on. I've done stupid shit like that before. The magic of video, though, you can edit those F-ups out. This guy's going as far to the end as possible here.
Good, got the end one on. So if you notice, what I did is I offset the crimp, the two crimps on that one end stop. So hopefully this will, you know, because the last cable I made, this is what gave out were the end stops. I had two end stops on it, and I had two end stops, and I used the 1/8 inch crimp size, but that didn't fare out too well. Shortened it up about that much, but I have adjustability now to let it out or bring it in. Let's go back out here in the rain and check it out. Don't make me go back over there and get my needle nose. Okay. All right. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, see, I got quite a bit of gap this time. I gotta go get a needling pad. Man, this is always a pain in the ass. All gone. Okay. Never easy, that's for sure. All right. Nothing's ever easy. Looking better. I was watching an episode of Roadkill this morning, having my cup of joe, and I think Finnegan, I think he's a pretty cool guy, man. He's one of the I think better personalities that was on these TV auto reality shows, and his YouTube channel, what is it, Finnegan's Garage, something like that. I watch it a little bit. I dig his boat that he put together. You know, the guy is really smart. He's really talented, but he doesn't play off that way, and I can really appreciate that. All right, it's BFH time. Then this was dented in when I got it, so I'm trying to get it pushed back out a ways. It was pretty much tight right up onto this blade guard here, so this is what I'm up to here. All right. It's better. That was like maybe a ½ inch gap. Knock some more of this crap out of there. I think this box is to give this lift for the grass and the the blades, but it's hollow. It has no bottom here, so it was full of all this shit. What a pain. Why don't they seal it off? Bad design here, that's for sure. It's like an afterthought. This is the one that I welded that up and put it back in there. Put a new one in on the other side. Built one and it's kind of bent one out of some steel I had. All right, we can go see if I can't do something with this rear view mirror for the X. Enough fiddling around with that. So my rear view mirror on the Excursion broke in a funky manner. This ball came out of that socket, and I think the stuff just got so hot it slipped out, but I've been heating it up to get it back in there. I almost had it, but no go. So I've called the troops. I need a second set of hands to hold on to this thing while I try to beat this in there, because it just moves around. And so if I have to hold on to this and have to hold on to that, and I tried it in the vise and that just didn't work out. Anyway, I need another set of hands to see if I can't beat that thing back in there. And then of course trying to get this off, broke the whole thing off, so now I have to re-adhesive it, which I did get some new glue for it, and I will glue it back on. That's not a biggie. So hopefully maybe Margot will come out here and help me. I put the call out for some help. Well, I tried everything to fix this mirror, and I did my first big blunder. There's a spring actually that is in the inside the shaft. That spring is what provides tension on these two ball ends. You can't see this one now because I got it covered up, but I couldn't get this part pressed back down in and crimped so it would stay. I almost had it, but not quite. I'm just gonna see how much a new one is, and if they're like mega expensive, maybe I'll come back out and think something, get the heat gun on this again, loosen up that heat shrink and get it off of there. And I think I might do some sharpening on my 20-inch saw. Well, I've been a little remiss here. I haven't had my camera on. I went ahead, and since I'd gotten my files in, I went ahead and this is my the Echo, a CS. It's a CS 440. I went ahead and sharpened with my files. I think I've mentioned before that that still 2-in-1 I got, I think it works, because I'm going through now after I did it with my file, which I'm still, if somebody that knew what they were doing were to look at my teeth, they'd probably go, what are you, a moron? I'd have to say, yeah, I am. So I bought this raker depth thing, and I'm not even sure how to use it. I think I'm using it right. I'm just guessing at this shit. That's how I do things. And sometimes I get stuff right, and sometimes it's massive failure. But I think I'm doing this right. Most of these, one thing I will say about that 2-in-1 still gizmo is it did hit these rakers, so I can tell,
because I had sharpened this chain with the still 2-in-1, but when I went back to cut up that big ass limb that came down, I had to get down in the dirt, and it knocked this chain a bit. So since my files came in, I used it by hand, and used the little round file by hand. And most of these rakers, at least by using this gauge, are fine. I hit a couple that were pretty wonky, that I had to kind of get on them, but like this one's got a little bit. But I'm not even sure I'm doing this right. This is about the only way I could see how this thing works. You know, I'm sure if you were to somebody like on the YouTuber tree guys, like August Hunnicky or fucking Billy Ray Smith, probably be cringing about right now, but again, this ain't my profession, man. I like going out and cutting the trees and stuff, partly because I'm clearing my own land. I'm getting value out of doing it, but anyway, I'm not even sure I'm doing this right. I guess I've screwed things up about as much as I can here. I think I'm gonna go in and call it a day. I did get a cable fixed on the Hustler. I got that belt put back on it. So I think I'm back to square root. I beat the deck out on the one side of it. It's been such a goofy day. I was planning on chipping today, but it just was raining and not raining, then raining, then not raining, and I don't care. You know, it's not like it's my job again. I'm not getting paid to do it, so why go out and jack around with the wood when it's wet and get all grimy, and you know, I'll just wait. Well, I bought this for the vent tube hose. I bought more hose, longer, to go down to the ground, and I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is like put a fitting in it like this, cut a hole in the top of like a oil jug, so with that blow-by, just have it go down into a jug, and then I can reuse it because it's good oil. And then it's not getting on the ground either. I'm not, you know, getting oil on the ground. So maybe I'll rather have something that's threaded. I don't know. I'm gonna fiddle around with this. Maybe what I can do is I think this is an empty one. Yeah. This is the oil I put in that Hustler. I'm wondering if I should have went with the 540. I don't know. But I'm putting this through the cap. Yeah, like that. That might work, folks. Ladies and gentlemen.
This might be one of those things, man. No good deed goes unpunished. Trying to do this and I'll lose a finger trying to recuperate oil so it just doesn't drop to the ground. But hey. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? I'm getting it. Let's see what happens here. I have some sheet rubber. I could cut a little chunk of sheet rubber. It's thin stuff. We have some Flex Seal too. Speaking of that, I could shoot some Flex Seal in here. That might hold it. Seal it. That. Right on. Let's see. Sorry about that. Pull that hose off of there. This thing's heavy as a son of a biatch. There's that hose. There we go. Got it.
Yeah. I think this might be 5/8, not 3/4. Let me get some scrotum
Croil. Use a croil. Alright. Got a little bit of croil. Royal croil. See if that helps get that fitting. That fitting in on this.
I think this might work, ladies and gentlemen. Not even sure I need a hose fitting on that part of it.
Alright. So this will go up into the engine. This will hook on where I just pulled it off of, and this will be my blow-by oil recovery system, an oil catch can, and then I can just use this container to dump the oil right back into the engine, because it shouldn't be bad oil, you know, it's just blowing by. I just changed it, so it'll work until I come up with something more permanent. And again, this chipper is just to get me out of my piles of crap I got back here. All right, so that. All right, well, folks, I think that's a wrap, man.
to my friends and family. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully maybe you see what I'm up to with these videos. Alright, that's a wrap. Peace.